Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Weighing In, brought to you by Nike Wrestling. Go to AthletePS.com for all of your Nike gear. Resilite, the mat company, lightweight mats, classic mats, plyometric boxes, whatever you want, they got them. And Pure&Clean US. They're recommended by Jaden Cox, Kyle Dake, Michael Chandler. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you. Make sure you get their products. Joined by Mark Ostrander today. It looks like you are somewhere in a hotel in Iowa waiting for the next train assignment. Is that accurate?
That is very accurate. Got 3 hours of sleep today. I got off about 5 in the morning, so I haven't got much sleep. So it's that time of year. You got to battle through it, David.
Your nap skills are probably top notch. Like literally, we talked about that.
Boy, are they? I can fall asleep sitting up in a chair right now.
I think that's
I doze off, just kick me under the table.
No, we're not dozing off. So, all right. So we're gonna do our picks at 285, and before we do that, want to pull up and get. We're going to share this tab here real quick. So GT sent us his picks, which is great. So he had 74. He had Levi, Haines, and Ruiz in the final, which I had Ruiz third. So I'm very close on that. He's got Kennedy third, had Kennedy fourth. He had him second. He's got Facundo on the board. You do, I don't. He's got Pinto on the board. We don't. He's got Minto on the board. We both do. We all have Singleton on the board, and he and I have Manthanoan on the board. 84. He might be the smartest guy here. He picked McEnelly to win it, Ferrari in the finals. We didn't. I guess I picked Ferrari over McEnelly. Are you saying that, or do you not know yet?
I just picked the finalists.
Okay. We both have Rocco and Ryder as All-Americans, all three of us. We all have Sinclair as an All-American. He and I have Isaac Dean as an All-American. And then he's got Shane Cartina-Walsh and Soldano. So he did not pick Jackson Smith. He did not pick Fishback, and he did not pick Izerov. His are very, very similar to me at 97. We both have Barr, Elam, Rodemaker, Little. He's got Cam McDaniel, Max Stout, Novak Nelson. I had Berge, Merrill, Stout, Novak. So very, very similar there. Now we get to 97. He had emailed me these so we can get his picks in first. He's got Bastida against Isaac Trumble. I just read Trumble's not going to wrestle this weekend, Mark, which I think is going to swing that duel with you and I to you and I's favor. We'll go through that this week, but that's a bummer for North Carolina State because the winner of that duel gets Oklahoma State. And Northern Iowa, I think, already duels them on the Big 12 schedule, and I don't think North Carolina State does. They've dueled Oklahoma State in the past, but I think that was sort of a Pat Pop John thing. He's got Ferrari third. He's got Kueter fourth. Ghadiali fifth. Mirasola sixth. Feldman seventh. Volker eighth. We go to the rankings at heavyweight. They've got Bastida 1, Ferrari 2, Trumble 3, Ghadiali 4, Kueter 5, Feldman 6, Nathan Taylor 7, Luke Luffman 8, Connor Doucette 9, Volker 10, Cole Mirasola 11. Some names you may have heard. Dayton Pitzer been ranked high. Coy Hopke, you mentioned this. You want to talk a little bit about Braxton Amos, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen him in 2 years. I thought he left school because he hasn't wrestled for 2 years. He was at 97 for Wisconsin, wrestled 2 years ago for him, and then I don't know what happened. And then he comes back and he's this huge specimen of a man at heavyweight, and actually got taken down in the third period by Iowa State, and to lose that match. So obviously he's come back. He's bigger and stronger, and actually probably better at heavyweight. It might be the perfect fit for him. So I could see him possibly being in my top 8.
Well, I think he's a perfect example of a guy that was a Greco guy, that doesn't help, right? And a guy that was at 213, 97 kilos, and that doesn't help, right? And so when you combine those two things, it's a mess. Like, it just doesn't, like, if you're coaching that guy, you want him to be all in on folk style or at least freestyle because of the ability of those skills to translate or transition. And 213 is a mess. 213 is the worst weight to recruit a guy if he wants to stay at that weight because he's too small for heavyweight and he's too big for 197.
Yep.
So, okay. You want to go make your picks here?
Sure. Let's go back up to the top. I'm going to put Bastida.
Hold, please. Let me get up here.
Okay.
Okay. Let me get over to our rankings tab. Go ahead.
I'm going to put Bastida and Ferrari in the finals. I'm not going to make a pick right now. I want to watch those two wrestle a little bit before I make my decision. My All-Americans are Ghadiali, Ben Kueter, Feldman, for sure. I'm going to do Nathan Taylor as an All-American. And I'm going to go with Amos as an All-American. Is that 8?
That's 7.
Then I'm going to do
you didn't pick Trumble.
I did not pick Trumble. I will pick Trumble as an All-American. And I don't put my All-Americans in order. I just
but I'm saying I think you accidentally forgot about him.
Yeah, I did.
So I'm here to help.
Appreciate it.
I mean, listen, it's easier for me. I'm looking at the cheat sheet, you know. So I'm a big Bastida guy. I think he's the best guy on his feet. You know, Mark, I think you and I talked about this off air. If Bastida wrestles Ferrari, which they could potentially wrestle 3 times, right? The duel, the Big 12s, and NCAAs.
No? Against who?
Oh, not Big 12, sorry. The NCAAs and they don't duel. So now just one. Sorry. Nebraska was Big 12, used to be. My fault. Okay. So they may not wrestle at all. Okay. So this changes things. So having said that, I think Ferrari, it's this thing like, okay, I'm better on top than you are. Well, it doesn't matter if you're better on top than me. It only matters if you're a minute better on top than me. Okay. Like if you can ride me for a minute 10 and I can ride you for 20, it's like, all right, so what? I think if you're coaching Bastida against Ferrari, you pick neutral, and when he picks down, you cut him loose. Okay? Now, the opposite side of that is if you're Ferrari, you might go, I'm going to pick top. Like if it's 0-0 going in the third period, you might try to ride him out for the whole period for the win, but that's dangerous because if he gets away in the first minute, you're losing, and if he gets away in the second minute, you're tied. So I think if I'm coaching Ferrari, I would pick bottom and get cut. So basically, Bastida's got 7 minutes to get 2 stalling calls or 1 takedown. And if he gets the 2 stalling calls, then he's got to go to overtime and figure it out. But so that's I think his formula for success. But I think those 2 guys, I think Trumble's the next best guy. Okay. Ferrari, I'm sorry, Kueter. Actually, I'm sorry. I think Kueter looked, a lot of the guys from Iowa didn't look great their first time out. Kueter wrestled somebody who wasn't great, but he looks big, man, like really big. And so I think that's going to help him, and completely committed to wrestling in the off season. I like Ghadiali. I think he's going to be fine. I mean, Bastida's better than him, but there's really no shame in that. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else here. Like, I really want to pick Luke Luffman, but I'm not sure I believe that. Let's see. I like Feldman. I like Mirasola. You didn't pick Mirasola. Was that intentionally or just ran out of good guys?
No, I mean, I saw him down the list. this Amos I'm really intrigued by him to see what he's going to do. He looks like he's a lot bigger than he was at 97. I mean, he looks like an absolute he kind of looks like he's got the same build as Feldman. I mean, they're just ripped.
But he's taller.
He is a little taller, yeah. But he's not 6'2", 6'3" tall. There's a difference. He's 6
Are
foot.
you sure?
I'm pretty sure he's 6 foot.
Okay.
I think Feldman's like 5'10", 5'11". I mean, he's short for his weight. And he struggles on the mat. I mean, that's how Kueter kind of controlled him, is that he just couldn't really get away, and it took a lot of time off the clock, and he had troubles finishing. He got in fairly easy on Kueter, but he had troubles finishing. And I mean, we'll see. That length does make a big difference.
I'm not arguing with you. Like, tall guys were difficult to wrestle on the mat. Like, it's there's a struggle there. So I agree. All right, I'm going to log into Mat Kings. If you don't have a Mat Kings account, you should have a Mat Kings account. It's free. It's awesome. So we're going to take a look at the national duels bracket. I think, Mark, the way we should do this is I think we should break down the bracket. Let me go in here and share this. Okay. So this is kind of small because it's the whole 16 bracket laid out. But round one, day one, 9 a.m. Saturday, top quarter of the bracket is Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois Little Rock. So I think what we should do today, because I think these will not take very long, is see who we think wins the Iowa-Missouri duel, the Illinois Little Rock duel, and then our winners against each other. And then that would get it out to the semis. Okay. Then I think later on this week, we can do the other three. And then when we meet with GT on Thursday, and we've got ours. And this is the simplest one to me. There's some of these other ones, like Virginia Tech, Minnesota, that's a first-round match, and I'm not sure either one of them can't go good with Ohio State. So I guess it's going to take a lot more time. But if we go to – I have Iowa, Missouri here. So the way this works, if you haven't seen this before, is they have the matchups, they have the rankings, and they have the favorite is in green and the underdog is in red. And so I think if you look at this, Iowa's favored at every weight but 97 and 49. And I'm not sure that – I mean, at 97, it's Bates and Endine are 13 versus 15, so that's fairly close. To be fair, Kennedy and Cam Steed are at 2-6. We talked about Sinclair Ferrari. That's a 310. All right, you're from Iowa. I'm from Missouri. So I'll try to make the argument for Missouri, okay? It's going to be tough.
No, well, I mean, you can do it.
I'm not sure I can do it, but Seth Mendoza comes out of nowhere and beats Nasir Bailey. That's like we got to get to 5 wins, and then we can debate bonus points, okay? So Missouri wins 41 in this scenario. Josh Edmond wins. That's 2. Cam Steed beats Kennedy. He's longer, stops his shots, hits go behinds. That's 3. Sinclair gets 2 arm drags and beats Ferrari. And Bates beats Endine. I think that's their only path to 5 wins. I think any of the other ones are absolute monster, like not within the realm of realistic possibilities. And I'm not sure all those are in the realm of possibilities. Like they're favored at 2, so I think that's fine. A 6 beating a 2 isn't crazy. Ferrari and Sinclair both have great credentials, but Sinclair hasn't wrestled a college match. Ferrari has. And Mendoza hasn't made weight yet. So let me put it to you this way. If I said the over-under for Missouri wins is 2.5, which way do you go?
Iowa.
I'm sorry?
I'd take Iowa winning 9 matches.
9.
That's what I'm guessing right now.
So who do you have them winning? Edmond winning?
49.
You think Endine beats Bates?
I do. Bates just lost to a guy that wasn't even in the top 15 this weekend. I worried about Steed wrestling Kennedy because Steed's a returning. He's a stud. But he lost twice last weekend. The two guys at South Dakota State, I never even heard of them. So I think watching Kennedy, and he didn't wrestle a very good kid, but I mean, he looked like he was in shape. He kept the motor going. I just don't think Steve's ready for that just yet this time of the year.
Okay, so we agree we have Iowa advancing.
I think so, yeah. Because you got a path for them to lose 5 matches.
But I don't think first of all, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just trying to come up with something.
Sure,
okay.
Sure.
Just to make it somewhat interesting. And then I still think, I think Drake gets bonus. I think if Missouri lost that duel 17-15, they'd be really happy because they would have won some matches they're not supposed to win.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Here is Little Rock against Illinois. Little Rock is favored at 3 matches. Brock Herman over Joffrey. Bianchi over Scholes, which is a 5'9". Stephen Little's a big favorite over Cade Lout. It's number 28 against number 26 at 184, so that could be their 4th win. And nobody's ranked at 74, so that would be their path to 5 wins, right?
Yes.
Okay. On the other hand, I sure think Illinois is going to win 25, 33, 41, 57, and heavyweight. And if Scholes beat Bianchi, we wouldn't be surprised, right?
Correct.
Okay, so don't want to belabor a point. We feel like Illinois advances?
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, I thought this would be the easiest one, and then we could tack this on to 285. So now we're going to have Iowa against Illinois. Now, again, you're the Iowa guy, so I'll try to make an argument for Illinois. Okay? I don't know if I can do it. Well, it might not be crazy. Okay. Let's take the 2 that they're ranked ahead. Okay. Lucas Bird beats Ayala, Joffrey beats Ryder Block or Valencia, or Voinovich. Okay. That's not crazy, right?
No.
Cannon Webster's ranked 11th. Jordan Williams ranked 10th. If Cannon Webster wins that match, that's not crazy, right?
Nope.
Spencer Moore's 14, took a loss, but Peterson's 10. That's not super crazy, right?
No.
That's 4. Luke Luffman's beaten Ben Kueter before.
Correct.
That's your 5.
Yep.
Okay. On the other side of it, Drake Ayala has beaten Lucas Bird before.
Yes.
Okay. And Nasir Bailey and Danny Pacino are 10 and 16. For Illinois to win the duel, they got to win all those. Okay. As good as Scholes is, I don't think he's beaten Caliendo. Kennedy's a massive favorite. Ferrari's a massive favorite. And Dean's a pretty significant favorite. So, it feels like they're going to win 65 to 97 with some bonus. They just got to get 1 win.
Yep.
So,
I would agree.
Tell me where I'm right or wrong about any of this.
I think you're right on most all those picks, David. I think if I had to pick it right off the top of my head,
here we go. We'll go to the top.
I would say your most likely win for Illinois, just because I really like Webster, would be Webster over Jordan Williams, because Webster's very basic. Stays in great position. It's got a great motor. Jordan's been known to kind of slide down the side of the cliff, not fall over it sometimes, but just do an easy slide down. Come 3rd period, if Cannon Webster's within, striking distance, he's going to be coming after Jordan. But I think I think I was, a heavy favorite at, 74, 84, 97. Luffman, that was an early
I think they're
loss
pretty
last.
significant. I think they're, sorry to interrupt you. I think they're a pretty significant favorite of 65 too, right?
9 against 2? Scholes is tough. I think Caliendo's better, but I don't think it's not a match I'm looking at major, getting a major tech ball like I could be at 74, 84, even 97, getting, big bonus points at those 3 weights. That makes a big difference. I don't know if Caliendo is a for sure bonus point guy on that. I think he's better.
But you'd set that point spread, I would guess, somewhere between like 4 and 6, right?
Yeah, probably 4 or 5.
So you have him a takedown and riding time better.
Yes.
Okay. So not
probably
significant.
I'd say 2 takedowns
and 2 escapes.
You give him 2 escapes. There's 4-point victory. So yeah.
Okay. So if you're rooting for Illinois and you're watching this duel, if this duel happens, you got to win realistically 25, 30. I mean, you kind of got to win. I feel like you got to win the first 5.
Preferably, you would really enjoy doing that. Yes.
Well,
I just don't know.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying to win the duel.
I agree.
You got to win the first 5 in heavyweight.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, you have 18. And then they'd have to bonus 7 bonus points because if it was 18-18, the first criteria is number of matches won.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. I mean,
and I really think, David, I don't know what you think. I think we're going to see DeLuca this weekend wrestle a little bit at 25. Be one of his 5 because it's a multiple day thing and it only counts as 1. I could see them putting DeLuca in against, Spencer Moore. I think it'd be a good match. I think they'd want to start getting DeLuca some matches, see where he fits in. They say he's a hammer in the room. So
I think maybe more likely to wrestle Missouri, right?
Possibly. But
I think I'd wrestle him against Mac Mauger before I'd wrestle him against Spencer Moore.
Okay.
But I think you're right. I think he wrestles. And the point you made about it being that this counts as one of your 5 dates, they should count it and call it events. You get 1 of 5 events.
Yeah.
Because dates is very misleading, right?
Yeah.
So, but I double checked that, and what you're saying is 100% right. Not like I double checked you. We talked about it ahead of time. So obviously you're right. But that a tournament like this counts as 1 of your 5.
Yep. Even
a 2-day tournament. So I mean that's also like Cliff Keen counts as 1 of your 5. Which again, that's why. Go ahead.
Do you think, David? And I didn't mean to interrupt you. Do you think we'll see any other true freshmen, make the trip for any of these first 3 teams that we've talked first? Well, I don't know what Little Rock has in the background. But Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, do you think we'll see any other freshmen that they want to put out there to see how he fits in?
Harvey Ludington.
Okay.
I think that first duel that Iowa has, you could see, again, we talked about this. I think if you put in DeLuca, you still think you win that match, right? I think you're looking for matches where you think it doesn't flip it, right? So, I mean, I think some of this, what I'm going to say is fairly obvious, but duels are pretty simple. You got to win 5. Very few times do you win 4 matches in a duel and win it. The Iowa women did that one year, but dual meet scoring and freestyle is a lot different than folk style. Okay.
Correct.
I mean, it sort of isn't in that, if you keep it to a major, it's 3-0 versus 3-1, but it goes, the spreads are 2, 3, 4, 5, and here it's 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's an argument. It's the same, but it's not. So I think if you're Tom Brands, Terry Brands, Ryan Morningstar, Bobby Telford, you're like, where can we wrestle these guys, get them matches, keep our other guys fresh, and it's not going to affect the duel. Okay? I think they think Leo DeLuca is better than Mac Mauger. Okay, that's just what I think. And then I think if you're at the duel and it's gone the way you think, where they've won every matchup at 49, then you can wrestle Ludington. Right? Like if you're up 7 out of 8 matches, the duel's over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over. It doesn't matter if Josh Edmond pinned somebody and you got all decisions, it's 21-6.
Yeah.
You could just forfeit 97 in heavy. So I think you're going to see a lot of, I think this question you brought up is something we need to be aware of as we talk about these other things. And we're not going to talk about backside matchups. I just don't think there's enough time in the world for it.
Sure.
But I think you're going to see a lot of it on the back. Right? Like I think any of these teams that go to the back, like I think, like we were looking at Ohio State, Nebraska, my buddy and I were, and on paper, like I'll kind of cheat here. I think Ohio State can beat Nebraska. But part of it is Mendez beating Hardy, and Nebraska's got a backup at 49. And if you're Ohio State and you don't think you're going to win 49, or Nebraska and you don't think you're going to win 49, and you just need a split, they might bump Hardy. Like he's going to weigh in at 41 so he can wrestle the other matches, but
sure.
And then if you're so this gets real tricky, right? Because like the home team technically has to put their guy out first. So I assume the higher seeded team would be the home team. Like I don't really know, but so then if you're Nebraska or Ohio State and you want Mendez to wrestle Hardy, and let's say Nebraska has to put their guy out first and they put out somebody at 41, do you have a guy at 41? Like maybe you wrestle Buzakis at 33 if you think he can beat Van D, and then you move Davino to 41, and then Nebraska's like, well, we think Hardy can beat Davino. Like, it gets real fun.
Sure.
I mean, it gets really fun.
That's
now,
the fun thing about these duels. It really is, because I think it was it 2 years ago, Iowa State started playing with that, and they moved back when Bastida was at 97, and they moved him up and wrestled at a heavyweight match at one of these events, and to win the duel and put somebody else in at 97 and actually won both matches to beat a really good team.
They beat Cornell. They bumped 3 guys up. That was down at the Florida duels, and you're 100% right. They bumped up Marcus Coleman. That was like, maybe not Coleman. They bumped up 3 guys. Yeah. And so here's the cool thing about that. It's fun to watch the gamesmanship, and you and me and GT have all coached, so like we really enjoy that side of it. We really respect that side of it. If you're a fan, you want to see Mendez Hardy, right? Like if you don't care about Nebraska or Ohio State, you just want to see that, right? So like here's another thing. Like Alex Facundo, if you look at this bracket, he's supposed to wrestle Simon Ruiz. I don't know. I mean, if NC State won, he'd wrestle Singleton, then he'd wrestle Kennedy, and then he'd wrestle Minto, theoretically. Like the toughest draw for him is that, right? And that's assuming a lot of things, okay? But like those guys are all like top 6, 7 guys, okay?
Correct.
So if you're David Taylor, do you wrestle somebody else at 74 first round? Like if you go, hey, Cornell doesn't have half their team, like we're going to beat them. Like I think Cornell would say, you're going to beat us now. Wait till we get all these dudes in January. But like Landon Robidoux is going to beat our backup 157. We don't think he's going to beat Meyer Shapiro. Okay. So I think there'll be some disappointment, frankly. I think there'll be some disappointment from fans that want to see these matchups, because if you're David Taylor, you're trying to help Alex Facundo, A, be as successful as possible, and B, these matches count towards seeding. They count towards the formula. Head-to-head's a very important priority. And you don't need that match to win a duel. What do? I think something, and we'll wait till the Oklahoma State quarter bracket, but I think it's going to be very interesting if we see Carter Young or Teague Travis this weekend, because I think Sergio Vega is their starter at 41, at least right now. And I sure think Landon Robidoux is their starter at 57. Yeah. Like, I'm more confident about him because he beat a better guy. Sergio wrestled great, had that inside heel hook, ankle pick, that Imanara roll adjustment or variation. But he beat a guy who's probably not going to national, so you tech that guy, but it's hard to tell, right? But if you wrestle Carter Young and Teague Travis, their eligibility is gone. And if you don't, they can transfer at semester, assuming they've graduated. That's significant. It's very, very significant. It's significant for those young men, and it's significant for the programs where they could go. I'm not saying either one of those guys are surefire All-Americans, but they're surefire qualifiers, in my opinion.
Yep.
So that's going to be another interesting thing to see. You know, I talked to Matt Serber. He's a buddy of mine. Tuttle has wrestled in – he is the AD at Tuttle. He used to be the coach at Tuttle. They wrestled in the Beat the Streets Oak Park River Forest duels way back when. Tuttle wrestled in the Hall of Fame duels. Serber did commentary for Hall of Fame duels. His son is Luke, who just graduated, top 6 seed last year, 7 seed at 197. He's the tournament director. We talked about tournament director stuff. And one of the things he said was, you know, if these teams don't wrestle their best guys, especially on the back, you know, we have to make decisions about inviting him back. And I didn't say anything. I'm like, how are you going to control that, right? Like, they're going to go this year. I mean, I remember Spartan Combat paid all this money for an Ohio State Cornell duel one year. It was like 2 weeks before regionals, Big Tens, EIWAs. There was like 17 ranked dudes, and one of them two guys matched up.
Yep.
Like, you sat all your even numbered weights, and I sat all my odd numbered weights, and nobody wrestled, and they paid money for this. So that's where I think I'll finish with this. I think the national duel is a very cool idea. Annie Hamilton, who I worked with for a long time, interviewed Tony Roby, and he's like, how excited is Virginia Tech about these national duels? And Tony Roby is one of the realest dudes in our sport. And he goes, well, right now we're excited about wrestle-offs. Then we're going to be excited about the Southeast Open. Then we're going to be excited about whatever duel they had this last weekend. And I think what's happened is they've tried to create something. Like, if you win this thing, you get money. That's important. It helps with NIL and recruiting. And I'm going to say one thing about NIL, but you might get a trophy, but I mean, Penn State's not in it. You know, so it's kind of like the NFL plays and they don't put the Chiefs in it. Like, well, or the Eagles, you know, this last, like, okay, the defending champs or the perennial Super Bowl team is not in it. I'm like, come on. And it's not like they got disqualified. And Penn State just had over half their team just wrestle in the U23. So it's not like they're ducking. They're trying to not get these guys injured. They're not going to send their backups and burn their eligibility. Iowa State's super good this year. They were 27th last year. I don't know how you factor that in. I'm not going to name a team, but Iowa State is better than the 16th place team in this bracket. Like, whoever takes 16th in this tournament, even if it's Cornell because they're all beat up, Iowa State will do just as well as them at nationals. Yep. And if you take Cornell out of it, whoever takes 15th, Iowa State will kill that team in a duel and in at nationals. So
I agree with almost everything you said, David, but I truly believe the sport needs this event. I think the fans need this event. It's going to be what the coaches do with their teams, whether or not this event stays around. Because if they start not wrestling their good guys, once they're on the backside saying, well, we're just going to get the 20,000 they gave us, we're not going to wrestle anymore. I think that's going to really affect how this tournament runs in the future.
Well, I would agree, but I would also say this, that I would be very interested to see the attendance on the backside rounds. Okay, so just so you know, 9 o'clock is front side, 11 o'clock is front side, 3 o'clock is backside, and then 5 o'clock is front, and 7 o'clock is backside on Saturday night, okay? I'd be interested to see if the gym clears out or BOK Center clears out at 7 o'clock. I would imagine it does, because I would imagine most of the fans are Oklahoma State fans, and even if they were to lose, well, yeah, they can't wrestle at 5 o'clock and then at 7 o'clock. So, you know, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yep.
I mean, they're also not doing this. They're wrestling all the way back to true third. Or no, this is fifth. So the loser of
the semis wrestle for third.
Semis wrestle for third, yeah. So, yeah. Also, I'm going to just say this, and we'll get into it more. But I said this to you before. This NIL thing and the NCAA saying they're evaluating all these deals is complete hypocrisy. It is a lie. Because kids are being promised money. Like, I'm talking to dads that are told, I mean, they told me how much they're getting. You can't have a deal for a high school junior and they go, you're going to get this much. It hasn't been approved yet. Like, it's impossible that it's been approved because it hasn't been submitted. Now, you could say, well, we have athletes that have your credentials and they got the same amount, and we feel highly confident that you would get the same thing. But the other thing is, they're saying that in wrestling, the highest approved NIL deal is $40,000 a year. I'm just telling you, these dudes are getting more than $40,000 a year.
Some of them definitely are.
Okay. So people need to get out from underneath the rocks and the Pollyanna land. Like, this is not real. This whole thing, like the NCAA is approving this stuff. First of all, we went through all this, and like the number of agents you'd have to have and the number of NIL deals for all sports. Because you have football, men's basketball, women's basketball, you know, and then the non-revenue sports. But like baseball, if you were good, you never even went to college. You went to the minors. Well, now you can go play college. Like, Kaylin Clark made more in NIL her senior year at Iowa than she did her WNBA salary. Okay? And she's probably worth it. Like, I mean, she got State Farm ads and Nike ads and everything else. And listen, I don't care. Anybody's worth anything if they're willing to pay you. I'm a capitalist. Okay? But I'm just saying, we'll do a separate podcast on it, but there's a ton of hypocrisy here. There's a ton of misleading information. There's a ton of patting the general public on the top of the head, saying, no, you can see everything. You can't. These kids are committing based on this money. They're verbaling. There's no more signing, by the way. Like, the school has to sign a scholarship over to Mark Ostrander Jr., but Mark doesn't have to sign anything. And the coaches hate this because the kid could just not show up.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we will do the rest of the brackets this week. I don't think there's a lot else to get to. I mean, we reacted to the upsets. I think we're kind of caught up. We got our 10 weights in now. So I love doing this. Appreciate you doing this with me, Mark. We go all the way back to when you were helping me with the rankings without any credit. So I appreciate you, brother. And appreciate you.
I enjoy it. That's why I missed my sleep for it.
I was going to say, I appreciate you pushing through. Go get a nap. Text me when you wake up and we'll schedule another one. Okay.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching and listening.
Subscribe.